ॐ नमो महावदनाय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्या नमने गौरतभीशरे नमः। The word Chaitanya means consciousness of the existence of God or pure consciousness, described in the Vedanta as Param Brahma or Satchit Ananda, external existence, eternal existence, eternal consciousness, and eternal bliss, having no form. God, when conceived in form, is referred to as the Virat Purusha or the Supreme Entity, in whom all the individual souls reside and who resides in all. Complementary to Virat Purusha as the source of creativity is called the Prakriti or the nature or Shakti or the energy. Together, the Purusha and the Prakriti are the creators of this phenomenal world comprising of multiple universes of matters and soul, manifest and unmanifest. The embodied souls, called Jiva Atma, sourced to the Purusha, are born to the Prakriti by the glue of desire and attachment called Maya or illusion. It is the attachment, here it is referred as the Maya, the illusion. The loving supreme for God by the Jivatma is called the divine love. In this state, Jivatma faces his or her ego and yearns for nothing less than the supreme, only in the form he or she perceives the beloved Lord. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that which has been mentioned as the unmanifest, the immutable, they call him the supreme goal. That is the supreme abode of mind, reaching which they do not return. That supreme being in whom are included all the beings and by whom all this is pervaded is needed reached through unalloyed devotion. Today is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 535 the birth tithi, the 535তম জন্মতিথি we are celebrating, and in the part of this celebration we are providing a short speech on the topic the Sri Chaitanya and the divine love. And after this speech there is the Sandhya Arati we have arranged today, and wishing you all happy Holi on this holy day. Today is the occasion of Holi, we celebrate. So now we are going to discuss about the divine love and its various forms. The divine love for Swami Vivekananda meant real spiritual pursuit. We are no longer beggars because we give up everything for the love of God. We are no longer in fear, right? We are no longer in fear because we feel God as our own and our closest one. To Swami Vivekananda, the divine love of God is its own end, the salvation and the perfection. We would love God because that is our highest aim and goal of life. How to worship God? How to worship God? Swami Vivekananda answered, worship Him dearer than all your profession, than all your relatives and all your children. Nothing must stand between me and God except love. God is only love and nothing else. Love first, love in the middle, love at the end. God is infinite love. At last, lover, and the beloved become one. That is the goal. our separation from God in this phenomenal world become necessary, according to Swamiji, because God wanted to enjoy the bliss of love. Swami Vivekananda, in his Bhakti Yoga, explained the various forms of divine love. When a man gets absorbed in his or her devotion to God, it is known as the Shanat Bhava, Shanat Bhav, or the Shanta Bhav, or the quiet state of love. The next step is Dasya, when the devotee, with the untainted loyalty of a servant worship, serves God. Sakya, or friendship with God, is the next type, where the devotee open his or her heart to God, considering him to be his true friend or playmate. Here the devotee loves God as friend and on equal foot. Then there is Vatsalya Bhav, or a loving God is as our child. Here we try to give our best, forgetting self, and do not look up to him in a way. This relationship, like that of a mother and a child, takes us quite close to God. Madhura Bhav in divine love is considered as the strongest and most intimate relation with God, aiming to ultimate union with God. This bhav result in complete self effacement of the devotee, who longs for the pleasure and complete union with God. For the worshipper, God becomes the only and central focus. The intense love does not see any obstructions, barrier, customs, rules, and regulation. In his intense yearning for God, the devotee is in the state of both agony and ecstasy. It can be described as the madness of the devotee for God, whom he or she sees as lover. In Vrindavan, behavior of gopis demonstrated how the divine in the human form of Krishna was madly loved. On hearing the sound of his voice or his flute, the ever blessed gopis rushed out of their abodes to meet their beloved, forgetting the whole world, that is, the worldly rituals and taboos, the do's and don'ts. Gopis told Uddhava, a friend of Sri Krishna, Uddh- Uddhava, a friend of Sri Krishna, that their minds were no longer their own, as every bit of it had been given to Lord Sri Krishna. Their body, mind, and soul were longing to Bhagwan. Gopis were immersed in Krishna, and no traces of self consciousness were left in them. We find similar expression in the following couplet of Kabir. प्रेम गली अति संकड़ी तमे दाव न समाई जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं अब हरि है मैं नहीं. The path of love is narrow that the lover and the beloved cannot tread together. When I was there, my beloved God was not. Now that my beloved God is there, I am not. A life sketch of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Gita, Sri Krishna said, whenever there is a decline of virtue and increase of vice, I manifest myself. Sri Chaitanya came in revived spirituality, demonstrating the power of Krishna Nam Sankirtanam, chanting of the name of Krishna. It is the yearning for God and not the ritualistic worship which takes you onto the path of to the divine. It is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an incarnation of Sri Krishna manifesting self to demonstrate to the world the depth and intensity of divine love. He was the combined form of Krishna and Krishna's consort, Srimati Radharani. He he came also to experience the love of Radha for him and to show by example how fully surrendered to the beloved Lord. He exhibited symptoms of divine love to the highest degree and emphasized the chanting of holy names of Krishna was the best means to unite in love with God. Sri Chaitanya was born in 1486 in Navadvip, now in West Bengal. The Navadvipa The Navadvipa was at the time famous as a center of learning and culture. At that time, Bengal was under Islamic rule, was suffering from spiritual degeneration, stagnation of growth, and exploitation of lower castes by caste conscious Brahmins and other higher castes. The hallmark of learning was the capability of one to defeat other in open debate over interpretation of ancient philosophical texts where logic got primacy over spiritual and mystic experiences. Socially, morally, spiritually, politically, and intellectually, contemporary India need a change. Intellectually, contemporary India need a change. On the full moon night of Bengali month of Falgun, when there was a lunar eclipse and amidst people's chanting and bathing in the holy Ganga, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya was born in a Brahmin family. Astrologers predicted that he would manifest superhuman qualities and deliver the world. So his parents, Jagannatha Mishra and Sri Shachi Devi, gave him the name. They gave him the name Vishambhar, meaning support of the universe. As he was born under a neem tree, he was given the nickname Nimai. During his childhood, he displayed mysterious powers by outwitting thieves, playing with a poisonous snake, speaking philosophically to his mother. As he grew, his handsome look and intelligence began to attract neighbors and friends. He was a brilliant student who quickly mastered in poetics, Sanskrit grammar, and the fad Navya Nyaya, a form of logic. He would often playful defeat his fellow student in debate. While still in his teens, he opened his own school and began teaching grammar and logic. He journeyed to Gaya with a group of students in order to perform sacred rites on the anniversary of his father's death. There, after receiving the Vaishnava initiation and absorbed initiation from Ishvara Puri, or the Ishvara Puri, he became transformed. He lost all interest in logic and argument and absorbed himself in chanting Krishna's name in devotional ecstasy. Back in Navadvip, he, with other Vaishnavas like Advaita Acharya, Sri Vasha Pandit Haridas Thakur, Sri Haridas Thakur, started the Sankirtana movement by chanting the name of Lord Sri Krishna. First, the movement was confined to the faithful. After a year, however, he started to spread the ecstasy of divine love to all the people of Navadvip. His movement was not influenced by caste consideration, nor was it meant for the ascetics or the yogis in penance or meditation for liberation from the material world. As he deviated from the conventional path in his spiritual pursuit, Vishwambar met with stiff opposition from some section of the local Brahmin community and from the ruler who was ruling that time. But when he mobilized thousands of people in Sankirtana procession to the Muslim magistrate house, he succeeded in convincing the magistrate to permit the movement. Seeing the need to spread Bhagwan Krishna consciousness more, seeing the need to spread Krishna consciousness more widely, he decided to take sannyasa at the age of 24. He took the name Krishna Chaitanya from Keshav Bharati. He also became known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To console his mother, he promised to stay in Puri, not far from Navadvip. He travelled to various parts of South India for 4 years and to Prayag, Vrindavan, and Varanasi for 1 year. His last words. Sri Mahaprabhu Chaitanya said, "Listen, Swarupa and Ramananda Rai. The chanting of Krishna's name is the chief means of attaining Krishna's feet in the Kali Yuga. Sankirtan of the name is the supreme healer in the Iron Age. Sankirtan tantamounts to Vedic sacrifice. Sankirtan destroys sins and purifies the hearts and creates bhakti. Chant the name while sitting, standing, walking, eating, in bed, and everywhere. The name is omnipotent. You can repeat the name at any place, at any time." Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was last seen on the 14th June 1533. His passing, however, his passing away is still a mystery. This was all about today's speech, all about today's topic. The topic Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the divine love. Om Purna Madaha Purna Midang Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishvate Harihi Om Tatsa.